Hey, hey, how's everybody doing? It is about 4:15 in Chicago. What kind of a day, huh? Um, so we got tech kind of got attacked a little bit, and then turned around and rallied them, and again, don't go chasing them because they did start to come back down at the end of the day. So we only survived four sectors for the week on the positive side out of 11. All right, so we'll see what's going on with the ones that are hanging in there. I think that healthcare is trying to hang in there. I think that was like would have been the fifth guy, but they were just under. But for the most part, for the week, we've survived with energy, real estate, consumer defensive stocks, which are staples, is in that group, and the financials. All right, so that's the group. Those four groups are out of 11 that kind of have survived this week, and the futures have been really flipping around, right? So we were green on the month here, and now we're red back on the month now, and our shooter back down. This has been kind of a whipsaw month here to start with, okay? And it's not starting here. We're getting closer to where we got 10 days left. All right. So I don't know how we come out of this thing right now. So I'm going to start with the SPY right here, man. We've been as high as 755.68. All right. We've been as high as $755.68, and we've been as low as 739.18. Okay. And we got a shooter down. Okay. Shooter down. Got the two up there. Then we look for the broadening formation, right? We got the high up here, no higher highs here. And then we got to see, we still got 2 weeks to go. Okay. Shooter down on the week. All right. And closing out damn near the lows of the week for sure. All right. So this was our day today with the gapper down, and then kind of gave up a little bit here more at the end of the day. So that's where we are in the SPY, and then we'll look at QQQ. All right, QQQ, another one, gapper down day, but staying green. So we got that going for us. Okay. We've been as high here on Qs up to 731, almost 732 to the highs, and we've been as low as down to 687.54, which um, close to where we are right now on today's lows. All right, shooter down on the week, okay, and coming down. All right, but you did finish with the green day. So this is a 4 hours. So you see it's kind of tight here. Not showing us too much there, but getting the gist here. All right, with the inside too. All right. So and we look at the diamonds. All right, diamonds same way. Complete shooter to the downside. Now that's a nice shooter coming down. All right, we were up to 532.54, which we're coming back down to the lows right now around 518.90. All right, so 518.90 breaks it down all the way. All right, and I think we had that today. What was our low? 518.90. There you go. All right, 2-2 down on the week now on diamonds. All right, not much to talk about here. All right, so from being green to turning things around the other way. All right, so we'll see what these markets are going to bring. But and what did we have that was moving up today? What group do you think it would be? Well, it's going to be what you think it is, I guess, and I don't know if you're going to think about it anyway. But uh, energy. All right, I could smell that inflation right now. All right, look at Valero. Put the week for the month here. All right, Valero is moving very nicely. to the upside. All right. And then we'll just go through a couple. I'm not going to go through a lot. Marathon, another one here. Solid moving to the upside. Phillips 66. You getting it? Gas, Aline, Fang, Fang Energy. Fang Energy finishes with the week with the 2-2 week up. And there's your monthly. Okay, Fang. There's your crude today, up another $3.86. Ever since we renewed this business with Iran. All right, so BZ, see about that one. And there's your light sweet crude. Inside on the month here, it is a 2 though. All right, so lifting up again. Ever since we had this thing kind of dialed down a little bit, and then they went and cranked it up a little bit again. So EOG had a decent day, up $2.45. All right, as you see here, had a nice day, came back a little bit here, but this is it. This is what we got. There's your UCO, 41 bucks stuck in the middle here. Month is starting to refill. All right, so energy back up on the move, and like I said, I can smell that inflation coming. All right, Apache's another one up there. All right, nice day today, came back up. All right, so energy is our number one group for the week, and that's what we got here. We got some real estate stocks. I don't have a whole lot of them, but I'm going to go through some real quick here. EQIX. All right, EQIX has kind of fell off a little bit. All right, this is one of the big ones. All right, so 3-2 back down on the monthly right now after making a high up here. Okay. Actually, this month was the month that really put up the highs. We haven't really had a high since. All right, so EQIX. We got Vanguard, VNQ. Vanguard, very nice. 3-2 up on the month, continuation to the upside. Over $100 now on Vanguard. These have been really cooking here, right? DLR. DLR is another one that kind of fell off here a little bit with the 2-1, 2-2 back down, so kind of settled the inside. And I'm just going through this group that I picked here. All right, so there are some stocks that have come back from them highs, but for the week, nobody else was being better than them. INVH, Invitation Homes. It's holding up fairly well here on Invitation Homes. Kind of stalled out, as you can see. Whenever you see this happening, that's basically telling you that the stock is kind of stalled out, and then obviously you get the week down. All right, so down on the week, but still holding on the green pretty good, and that was your day today. All right, INVH, American Tower. American Tower, 3-2 inside here is made the lower low though. All right. So how about the 3-3 month? And now here with the 2, you made the lower low. So can we go up and do it again? I don't think so. I don't think so. Not in 2 weeks. That's not going to happen. Finishes with a 2-2 up on the week though to finish though. A little indecision, a little better day. All right. So American Tower, really kind of a mixed bag with these things too, right? Vino. VNO Vernado. This one's really nice, man. 2-2-2-2 up on the monthlies. I got a 3-2 cooking. This one's holding up pretty well. Today it kind of fell apart a little bit, and it shows us a little bit in the middle. We'll see if these real estates can really hold up. All right, but you see a couple that are already starting to show its real teeth here. All right, PSG, Public Storage. I don't know why it's not coming up here right now. PSG. You got a higher on the month here, but dipping back in on PSG. TRNO. TRNO. Have a nice month there. Up there, got all the way to 79.08. Now she backed off. All right, and had a shooter down today that kind of triggered a little bit of this week to come back inside. All right. Got 2 big shooters down on the 4-hour there. All right, so Toronto. All right, Mac the Knife. Mac the Knife is moving Really, really nice. 2222 up, 2-2 up on the week. Had a decent day today. A little selling came in today on the 4 hour, but that's okay. That one's looking all right. So that's our real estate. Okay, that's our real estate, and that group has been holding up pretty good. Even today, I mean, energy was the only sector today that wasn't red. Okay, it was the only green. Was the only green we had in every sectors, and there's 11 sectors, and every single one of them were down. The worst was communication services, cyclicals, technology. All right, those three, even with the rally that technology had, all right, or so they tried to have. All right, so we'll wait and see there with the real estate. Okay, and then we look at banks. Okay, banks were better. Okay, no, consumer defensive stocks. All right. So our staples, that banks will be next. Okay. Um, yeah, they whacked XLP today, pretty good. It tried to fight back at the end of the day. It made that move to the upside today, guys. All right. I've been barking about these XLPs for a long time, and today it made this move to the upside at 87.47. So I saw we were taking up on the I saw we were making a move to the upside here. I mean, yesterday I talked about this yesterday. I said the hardest part of getting through this move to the now is getting through here and here. We talked about that yesterday. All right? And I said it's the smallest moves that make it the most difficult. All right. So boom, boom there, right? So I said that yesterday. So today, this morning, I was trying to buy some when it came in the morning because it had a tendency to look like it was going up. It was already showing 87 on overnights. So uh, so I couldn't get any. I couldn't get any. But when it moved up and hit this 87.45, I was moving my stops up because I'm looking at them like this is crazy talk. All right, so makes the move to the upside. I did sell my position that I've been holding for a while. All right, sometimes you got to get paid. All right, so XLP, and then she turns around and reverses, and she comes all the way back down. All right, but I love to see the fighting back in her. All right, most of the stocks were down today. Okay, and this is good because I'm still all over these staples. I am not giving up on these staples. If this if this market if this market starts to look like we're looking at like the futures right now, we want to be in these staples. All right. You're not necessarily they're not necessarily gonna save you, but I'm telling you, you will survive better in the markets if you're in these stocks. Okay, they will hold up. Couple quick ones here that got creamed today. Uh, Dollar Tree, look at that one on the day. They hit that one down good. Monster, they hit that one back down. Clorox got hit today, coming back down. Smucker's Jam, Procter Gamble, you're getting it. The DG, McKesson, I'm sorry, not McKesson, McCormick, Budweiser came down. The beer came down. All right. There was a couple that were to the upside. Casey General Store is a stud. I'll tell you, Casey is just a champ. This thing is going higher. I mean, right now where it's at, fighting against the grind. I don't think it's going to exponentially move crazy up to the upside right now. But boy, on weakness, you want to be on that thing. All right, for sure. On Casey now, it's an $850 night stock. I don't trade $800 stocks. Okay, I typically don't. But what I'm saying is that if this thing does pull back, I'll be making you aware of it. All right, because I'm all over these staples, so I'm gonna make you aware of it. All right, PM Philip Morris. We got the need, baby, the need for smoking. All right, so two upholding there. Look at Philip Morris. Philip Morris didn't even come down with any of this. Tell you that, huh? Archer Daniels Midland holding good, holding good. Archer Daniels Midland 2-2 up. This thing sitting on the high of the year. Okay, follow that guy. Sprout Farm. Sprout Farm kind of came back inside the day. This thing has not been right. Um, this thing was up here at 91 bucks. I just this one I don't like right now. And I like them all, but I don't really like them all. But coming back down here, this is just not good right now. In an outside month, just lay off a Sprout Farm right now. That one, it was one of the ones that was up today. It was up $2, and then it kind of surrendered a little bit. I just don't know about that one right now. Kroger was up today, all right, 21 cents, but I think Kroger's good, and I think Kroger should get better. But we'll wait and see now. A couple that we watched here today that got knocked out was Coke, right? They took Coke down again, and they took Pepsi down again, okay? And they took Kimberly Clark down again, all right? So it's all advantageous for us to be I'm still going to pray. I'm still going to be saying buy the staples when they come down. All right. So I'm sticking to my guns on this one, and we'll see what happens. Okay. And always be protected. Always be protected. If you're, if you're trading commons, have your stops in. You know what I'm saying? Just protect your positions. If they come out and they take you out of your positions, it's not gonna kill you. All right, as long as you protect it and make sure you make a little bit of money on it. All right, and you're gonna take another swing. All right, you're gonna take another swing. So that's where we are, and it's held up for the week. All right, for the week it was up 1%. All right, communication services were down 2.13%. Consumer cyclicals were down 1.5%. Technology was down about 1% for the week. Okay, industrials, that group is just a mess too. So I'm not even going to talk about that. I only want to talk about the four groups that came out on better. Okay. Now the next one that we're going to go through is going to be banks. And what do we got on banks? Well, we're not going to be just banks either, because there really wasn't too many all day that were that great. Okay. Chubb was good today. So insurance, Chubb, Kenny. Oh, sorry, I didn't link it. Yeah, I had to link it. All right. So Chubb, right? All right. So here we go. All right. CB. This thing was up $8.46 today with a gapper up. See if Chubb can hold that. All right, got a hammer coming. Got a nice hammer forming coming up on the week here. So we'll see what comes with that. Kind of stuck in the middle here, a little indecision. But Chubb had a good day. Allstate. It's all the insurance companies. All right, Allstate was up $8 as well. Okay, AIG. All right, another one. Sure, insurance is going up. There you go. Progressive. All right, Progressive. Auto insurance. There you go. Aflac was up $1.70 today. All right. And when I said banks, I really didn't mean banks, because Prudential is really doing well. All right. Pru Beige. So what we used to call it on the trading floor, we called it Pru Beige. All right. And they wore the really cool royal blue coats. But Pru Beige, take a little off that day today, coming back down on this move. But Prudential holding up pretty well. And then when you look at the banks, you got, these guys kind of took it on the chin today, right? Goldman Sachs down $30. It's 1,065. BlackRock, shooter down on the day, stayed green. Okay, BlackRock, MSCI, MCO, MasterCard down $8. Visa was lower today, coming off that high of that month, starting to peel off on the month there. SPGI right here coming back down. American Express, Robinhood. Okay, you getting the idea? So let's just look. PayPal. PayPal had a gapper. I don't know about this one here. Um, we were talking about this one today. I think that this thing triangles out a little bit. You have this one's very interesting because you have, if you look at it on the daily, there was a gap here that never got back. All right, never retraced, and now you have another one that's going to be harder to retrace. All right, I think this thing triangles out back down. But what do I say all the time? Whenever there's a gap, we wait 3 days. So we do have an actionable now. All right. So I'm going to keep an eye on this PayPal right here. All right. Because you get that 2-1. You have an actionable on the day. I think this thing breaks back down a little bit. All right. This is really good news, too. But this is a huge move to the upside. I got to think that PayPal might have to come back to the real world a little bit. That's my thoughts there. Bank America, all right, sitting on all-time highs. It's just been great. All the banks are good. Wells Fargo, all the banks are been the banks themselves pretty good. Wells Fargo now just coming off on the day here. Let's get back to the other picture. So coming off the highs of the month here, they're doing pretty good. Citibank got stuck. There was some news out on Citibank. So trapped inside the actionable month now, and you got a week that came down pretty good with pretty good volume too. All right, so Citibank might have a little bit of troubles there. All right, and what's the other one that I wanted to say? UBS. UBS. This one's holding up well. All right, UBS. All right, so again, 4 sectors survived the week in the green. On the positive side, we only had one sector that was green today, and that was energy. Smell the inflation, I say. All right, so we'll see what cooks there. All right. On that note, I think I made a lot of videos today. I totally screwed up on that first video I made this morning, but I redid it. So I'm pleased to go back and look. I just didn't have the microphone on. All right. So over the weekend, I'll probably try to get something out to the weekend. I got grandchildren's birthday parties, and good for me. All right. So everybody just be good, and be kind to each other. That's all we can do. Try to be the best people we can be. All right. And become better traders along the way. All right. So everybody be good.